Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to Brownstone's Best. It's your girl, Paulette. I'm the owner and founder of BrownstoneWorldwide.com. And today is another edition of Brownstone's Best Black Business Month interviews. We have an amazing professional that's hanging out with us today. And let's go ahead and get started because if you want to know anything about human resources, you want to know about how to keep yourself above water when it comes to your employees, your staff, and all of those things in between. You don't want to miss this particular episode of Brownstone's Best. We're talking to Lisa Ealy today. She's come to hang out with us and tell us the good, the bad, and the ugly about the business of being in business. So let's get started and let's find out more about Lisa Ealy. Known as the Minister of HR, Lisa is the co-founder of the Purple Squirrel Group's HR for the Profit, the leading HR consultant and talent firm for faith-based organizations. Prior to founding HR4P, that's what she calls it, Lisa served in the public and private sectors as an HR leader for over 30 years. Lisa earned a Master's of Business Administration degree in finance, bachelor's degree in accounting, and a master's degree in theology. Y'all, she's SHRM SCP and SCP-1 260 Leadership Certified, Green Belt, Lean Six Sigma certifications, and she's also a 2022 ACC Certified Coach Candidate through Coach Diversity Institute in Washington, D.C. Most importantly, Lisa is fulfilling her calling and purpose to transform the lives and business of Christian CEOs, showing them how to eliminate risk, scale, and profit by growing their teams while fulfilling their purpose. In addition to HR and ministry, Lisa is a wife, mom of two. Her life's mission has been to help God's people flourish. Known for giving a talk on Sunday, aka a sermon, she is also an accomplished, award-winning author. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I would like to introduce you to Lisa Ealy. Welcome, welcome, welcome for hanging. Thank you so much, first of all, for hanging out with us today on this Saturday, right? I'm super excited to have you joining us. I don't know what to do. I need to go sit down. Girl, how many letters do you have behind your name? My goodness.
So
Wow.
I appreciate that. But the truth of the matter is that I was always taught to be prepared. And I'll say this is the ministry and minister coming out in me. My pastor used to say this is that a call, whatever it is in business and ministry, because we all have calls in our life, is first a call to preparation.
Yes. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I need to take note of that. Hold on just a minute. That was good. That was good right off of the bat. You coming in here giving nuggets. We ain't even got started, y'all. She's ready. She ready. So listen, Lisa, the name of your business, first of all, is absolutely adorable. And I see that you're wearing the colors of the company. Yes. So tell me, what is Purple Squirrel Groups?
Yeah. So Purple Squirrel Group, first, let me just talk about what a purple squirrel is and where it came from. So a purple squirrel is literally a fictional thing, right? It's kind of like a unicorn. So inside of, my experience in human resources, I spent a great deal of time in talent acquisition and talent management and talent development. And many hiring managers and leaders inside of businesses that I've supported over the years are always looking for something that doesn't exist.
Okay.
It's called a purple squirrel. And so it just, I love the color purple. And it just resonates and fits from that standpoint, because isn't that what we all want? Right. So we want more than we think is possible. And sometimes I'll say this, the truth is that some job descriptions you'll read and you're like, this person does not exist. Like if that person did exist, they would want this job with your company.
Right.
That's for sure.
Right.
For that. And so that's where the purple squirrel concept comes in. I believe, and we believe inside of our company, that you can turn a brown squirrel a gray squirrel, and we live in Maryland, outside of our nation's capital, a black squirrel, because there's black squirrels as well, into a purple squirrel. Right.
I love it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. And so does that encompass everything that you do when you say Purple Squirrel Groups, or is it your HR for profit? And then are you consulting on the side? Explain exactly what all of the facets of your business are.
Yeah, so we actually, recently, so I'm a little bit of a TikToker and a little bit of a Instagrammer.
Okay.
Just like fascinated by some of these tools, just like many of us might be. Mm-hmm. So there's something now, it's called BOAF, that's both. So there are literally two sides of our business. So there is the HR for profit side, which is working, consulting in human resources for small businesses. On that side of the business, we also hold some contracts as well, working with a couple of nonprofits and also a federal government agency. In addition to that, the other side of our business, because it's two sides, it's still all about people, is that the first side, we help businesses to find talent, to grow talent, and to profit from that talent, and be compliant. The other side of our business is we help the talent to find their dream jobs, right? And so there's two ends. But definitely, those two ends they go together.
They absolutely do. Absolutely. And so prior to us going live and talking about this, one of the things that you brought up was that you started Purple Squirrel Group in 2009. So you're not a newbie in this game. Is that right?
Not a newbie at all. And in 2009, I still had a full-time corporate position. I did not resign from my full-time corporate position until 2018.
Really?
Yes, but I'll tell you this. Let's go a little bit further. So that's like the official Purple Squirrel Group, right? I had to think about this in preparing for this, and someone asked this question, like, when did I realize, so I'm a movie person. I love like movie quotes and all that. And so for those of you who know, I think there's a new version of it coming out. It's I want to say love. It's not Love and Basketball. But the name of the movie is
it Love Jones?
Yes. Is it Love Jones? Love Jones?
I think so.
It might be Love Jones. But the quote really is this.
Okay.
When did you first fall in love with hip hop? Right? That's the quote, right? And so see, I'm messing myself up now. So I need to look it up. But the point,
it's Brown Sugar. What's the name of the movie?
Brown Sugar. That's it.
Yeah.
Brown Sugar. Thank you. So see.
Right, we're here.
Yeah. So for those out there that don't know, go look it up so you'll know. My mentor Lamar Tyler says. But this is what I want to say. So I had to ask myself, when did you first fall in love with being an entrepreneur? Like, when did that happen? And so for me, I think the first experience, I was a little girl. And I think about this. I was in the Girl Scouts and I was competitive. And they said that if you sold the most in your troop, you could win a free trip to go to summer camp. And I really wanted to go. And then I knew if I won a free trip to summer camp, that there was no way my parents could say no, like they couldn't pay, afford, whatever. And I was 12. I was 12 years old. And I was determined to sell the most Girl Scout cookies. As a 12-year-old, I went out by myself. I had a wagon, like literally a little red wagon with the Girl Scout cookies. And I convinced this woman, because it was the last box. And she was like, I don't like to buy the last box, all these different reasons. And I was telling her, this was then, like, you couldn't buy Girl Scout cookies, but only a certain period. And I said, we don't have any more cookies available to sell. So if you really want a Girl Scout cookies, you're gonna have to buy this one, because
Wow.
and I told her, I said, as a 12-year-old, this is your last best opportunity to get Girl Scout cookies.
Oh, you showed out
at 12. And
okay.
Looking back, she bought those cookies.
I love it.
So what I would say is, it was like a bug, and it never went away. It was like, maybe you can appreciate this. It was like fire shut up in my bones.
Come on.
It had to come out. That's what it was like.
Okay. I love it.
And fast forward, in high school, I was in a small little social group, and we were doing all the things. We had events. We had sold out events as a 17-year-old. I had a bank account. We were registered, all of those things. We did social events, parties. For those of you, I don't know if they do this anymore. We did after prom. We had breakfast. We had photographer, a DJ. We had a band. Like literally orchestrated all of this as a 17-year-old.
So it's just in you.
Right. So
period.
I have to be honest that it's in me. And it comes out in the things that I do and the difference that I want to make in the lives of other people.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And so, I'm listening to this and our steps are always being ordered, right? And it sounds like yours have always been ordered to be in the space that you're currently in. And it's just innately in you. If you were doing that at 12 years old, that kind of sounds like what my parents did. We couldn't get brand new clothes for school unless, of course, we sold our own things during the summer. We had to hire ourselves. We had to provide a service for somebody to get the money to do that. And I think that was a skill, an amazing skill that you learned being a part of the Girl Scouts. And look where it's led you. So like your steps have always been ordered. And then to think that you were doing events, listen, that means that you were out there, you were hobnobbing and you were shaking hands and kissing babies with people that had decisions to make for your event. And so, my goodness, so this is just all up and through you. So here's a question for you. And we're speaking literally, not literally, but I'm going to say, I'm speaking from a level of spirit, and I'm thinking of a level of your faith and understanding that we're each born with a talent. Some of us have more than others. Would you say that you have followed what is innately in you? Because that's what I'm hearing that you've kind of done. Even if you deviated away from it, that was a journey that you needed to take to get you back to where you were, right? Would you say that you followed what you heard here, what you heard from God, and what you heard in your spirit and your soul to continue to forge yourself to where you are now?
I would definitely say so. And I'm not going to say it hasn't been without challenges. It hasn't been without risks, without fears, uncertainty, and doubt. Some people have gotten left behind that I thought I was really close to on this journey. And let me say this, lots of people in my family and some of my friends, didn't and still do not understand exactly what I do from that standpoint, and can't really relate. But even like before the business, I think that there was a thought process. Again, that's something that was just different. What I have learned is I am grateful for who God has made me and shaped me to be.
Yes.
I am grateful for the opportunities and the places and the exposure as well, that I know is nothing but for God.
I love that. I love that. And so let's talk about your journey to where you are now, because one of the things that I like to do during Brownstone's Best is I want to help tell the truth about building a business, about being a business owner, what it has taken you. Let's talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. What is it like when you wake up in the morning and the client didn't pay the bill on time, or the clients didn't pay the bill on time? What do you do when sales are low? What do you do when you are done with one project and there's not another one coming in? How does that look when you've been doing this so long? So I'm sure that you have a flow and you understand what you have to do to set up for those lean times and so forth. What bit of advice would you give to people who are on the fence with the desire and the dream within them to go into entrepreneurialism, but the concerns that they have are those that I just talked about, that each one of us, I'm sure, as Black business owners and business owners, period, deal with? And that's lack, or the thought that there is lack.
Well, I'm going to address one of the things is, and so the elephant in the room, I'm going to call it this, is that, and I heard this week, literally, that there is a thinking that you're not a real entrepreneur if you still have your full-time corporate job. That's a lie, right? There are, there is a propensity really to think, and I know we talked about it a little bit before we got started about what we see on Instagram. Right?
Yes.
And so, yeah, I'm not trying, I don't have an Instagram life. And I'm not trying to create an Instagram life.
Right.
I am literally, the reason why my husband we are doing this is because we're talking about generational wealth.
Yes.
So you think about the Rockefellers, they're like 200 years of wealth, right? And we're not talking about, so you won't have to do anything, but so that you'll have a head start.
Yes.
Right? And that's what it really is. And so we put it this way: our grandchildren's grandchildren
Come on,
will not have to struggle, right? In a way.
Yep.
So that they will have something. If I want to go to college, if I want to start a business, if I like whatever the thing is, that I know it's possible, because there's an old song that says, all my daddy left me was alone, right? That's not what we're trying to do. We don't want our family to have to worry about, like how they're gonna, take care of the services if somebody should die or those kind of things. It's like beyond that. It's like, let's take care of things, right? So I'm fortunate, and I want to share this because this is the other thing too, is we need to know our people and our history.
Yeah.
So on my father's side, my grandfather was a sharecropper. He did some things. He did what he had to do to pull his family from Mississippi and move to Cleveland, Ohio. Okay. He had a business. He had literally a food truck. They didn't call them food trucks then. But it was a barbecue place. And then he moved from that into an actual location.
Nice.
On my mom's side, my great grandmother, right? Literally, they had a farm. They had a store. They made root beer. They sold, eggs and chicken. In the Depression, Black people, right? They were the only Black people where they lived. They literally lived for real on Sugar Hill, right? And so, but let me just fast forward. I don't know what happened to any of that, right? There's no residual wealth left from that, right? I know the story because I inquired of the story, but I also know where I come from.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's important as well. And so we are literally, and you've heard this before, like, we're the ones to take our rightful place. Like, it is time now. It's past time. What time is it? It's now time.
Right now.
Ooh.
So, okay. So I'm ready to shout. That was a place for me to run around my table. I'm not going to do that. But you really brought that home. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. And I know that we hear that it's a mantra now, especially with some folks that we hang out with. So that was good. That was a good space. And I never thought about that, because the same holds true for my side of my dad's side of the family. They were business owners. They were educators. I'm a legacy of UAPB. And so when I say that, we're talking about my great whichever grandfather, but third remove, I believe, was actually one of the first graduates of that school. And so he was a landowner, but where is it? Right? I understand he owned hundreds of acres of land right there in Arkansas. We don't know where it is. Right? And so to your point, one of the things that I believe that we as a Black and brown folks right now need to understand as entrepreneurs is just like what you said. What happens to our grandchildren's grandchildren? Where is that wealth going? They need to be able to find the clues, like Hansel and Gretel, and they shouldn't even have to do that. It should already be set up for them. And like you said, it's not about not having to do anything. It's really just about having the resources in place to continue to build on what we currently have, and that there's something that they can reach back into. And I love that. I applaud you for having the mindset to set your family up for that kind of long-term success. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And this is the truth that I'm talking about when we're talking about the 2022-2023 business owners that we're seeing. And I'm not knocking Instagram. I'm not knocking Facebook. I use them to promote and to gain more awareness about what the Brownstone is doing. But to your point, there is the glitz and the glamour is overshadowing the real truth. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so I'm going to give you a scenario. So I'm thinking of a scenario in my head. Okay. This is just totally off of the dome. And I think that this is important for people to understand. So, okay. First of all, give me a normal day for you. What's a normal day for you like in your business?
Ooh. So let me say this. And not to be funny, and I know I use a lot of things, but I'm a huge reader. Okay. And I remember hearing someone say this quote. I think it was Steve Harvey. So Steve Harvey, for those of you who don't know, is from Cleveland.
Yep.
He grew up off of a street called 105, which is in the middle of everything. That's all I'm gonna say. And he was talking about money don't sleep. And I really feel like for me, I sometimes do not sleep. I could be up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning thinking about something, unpacking something, because God is downloading something in my spirit. I try to start shutting it down at 9 p.m. because your success for your next day actually starts at night. In 2008, when I entered seminary, the instructor said this: you have to give up something. I gave up television. Now, really? I never watched TV, but I'm not an advocate for any one thing. I watch one news show, and if I watch anything, and I know you probably could appreciate this a little, I may catch something on the Hallmark Channel.
That part.
and it's real. Just maybe because like I can't get too much into the news. I am not a CNN fan. I will not get into all of those details. But I don't watch anything where it's shooting, killing, none of that kind of stuff. I don't want it in my spirit.
Come on now.
I don't even control what I listen to if I'm in the car on the radio. Because those things impact me. So I am not watching TV 5-6 hours a day. I don't know how people accomplish stuff. So that's one thing. I will on occasion get up and even come in my office and capture something. I'm a big Google Doc person. So I have a note and I'll just try to like capture the note, whatever it is, and then go back to bed. I am up between 5:30 a.m. and 6 a.m.
Wow.
I'm a big believer in the miracle morning. In fact, right now, I am listening to the Miracle Morning, the entrepreneur's version of it. So he has one for real estate agents, one for parents, for educators, just for children.
Okay.
And I'm re-listening to it. And so I believe in something he calls the savior, and it is silence, affirmation, visualization, exercise, scribing, and reading. Right.
Okay.
Those are what the S's represent. And so you don't have to buy the book. Let me just say this. I had to say this little plug. I'm plugging the library because we need to use the resources that we already paying for your taxes, right? And plus, there's so many free resources related to the Miracle Morning anyway. It's Hal Elrod. He has free resources. He has a podcast, all kinds of stuff. So just to say, so that's what I do. I literally, when I get up, and at one time this is before pandemic, I used to go to an exercise class I had to be there at 5 a.m. I went to bed with my workout clothes on. And he even mentions that. And this is before I even knew that was a thing. So I am ready. When I get up out of the bed, I brush my teeth. I put my exercise clothes on. And I do my part of my devotional, and I walk my dog. Right. Okay. And I listen to sacred music at the same time, come back, take a shower, get ready. I am as my own business. I am at my desk at 8 o'clock because that's when I would be at work. Right. Got it. So I'm doing all the planning things, my whole savior, coffee, all of that before 8 o'clock. And I have a habit of, making sure that I get dressed. So I'm not in my pajamas. I have some sort of appropriate top. I do wear stretch pants on the bottom most days, I will say. Okay. Like all of us do. But I at least put on some mascara and some lipstick. And I'm like ready. Like I'm just ready for the day. Okay. I also do, so I'm a little old school, which I already know. Don't tell nobody. Okay. So I used to have a Franklin planner, and girl, what you talking about? I used to have a Franklin planner. In fact, this is the first year I have not had a paper planner because I'm committed to, which is a whole other topic, to being greener, right? I love it. To reducing my carbon footprint. And so I upgraded to a new iPad, and I downloaded a digital version of a planner. And I've been doing it since January to July. And then last month I was like, I just need to get my planner back. And I said, no, we're going to figure this out. And I have figured it out, and it is working. So that kind of like is my day. One day a week, I do 30 minutes of planning. I do 1 hour of decluttering. And it doesn't always have to be in my office. It could be email. It could be, my linen closet, the kitchen pantry, whatever it is, the bedroom closet. So I'm a big advocate for decluttering. And I plan my day. I literally think about what is my path to profit today. And I prioritize my profit activities. So I've mentioned some people that I follow. You got to make offers. Let me say it. So a coach of mine a long time ago said this: if you ain't making offers, if you in business and you ain't making offers, you ain't making no money. Come on, somebody. Come on. It's Sweetie Pie, right? Sweetie Pie said, if it don't make dollars, then it don't make sense. That part. I ain't trying, right? So so that's how I prioritize. I do all the me stuff. I'm gonna tell you the reality of it is I need to take better care of myself. Right. So I do really focus on trying to prioritize self-care. Sometimes I do a better job than at other times. And right now I'm in a place where I need to do better. Got it. I need to do better. For sure. This was amazing. That helps, but we could, that kind of gives you a picture of the day. And also some days I do a better job of shutting down my home office and not going downstairs and continuing to work. And again, the last couple of months, because I, got into a high-level mastermind, is I'm really trying to get the most out of it. And I found in July and now in August, I haven't been doing that, but I am working through that to get back to when I'm done in the office, I go downstairs, I'm done, and I can shut it down.
I love that. I love that. And so that actually does help, because you talked about, and I was going to do a scenario, and I'm sitting here, I'm like, no, she just gave the best scenario ever. She told us how that day goes, right? But you talked about some very interesting things as a business owner that a lot of people don't do. And we're notorious for this because we're so busy serving the people and thinking of the next thing that we need to focus on for the next 3 months, the next, what's happening in Q2, what's the fiscal year going to look like for us at the end, right? What are we going to be bringing into what is our budget? All of these things. And our mind is constantly racing for the next thing. It's almost like, I'm not going to say it's like a fix, but it kind of is, right? Because if it's in you, it's almost as if it calls you. It's like, in the morning, like you said, the downloads come, it wakes you up at night. It's your passion. It makes your heart beat. And so, but the one thing that we tend to do as entrepreneurs, especially women, is we don't take care of ourselves first, right? Husband gets us, boyfriend gets us, kids gets us, the grandkids get us, the business gets all of us. And if we are working a full-time job, they get us as well. When do we get ourselves to ourselves? And so, to your point, you're bringing up some excellent things that we definitely need to focus on. And number one, it is self-care. Because if we're not full, we can't pour into others. And what we end up doing a lot of times in our businesses is we're giving everybody a quarter of the 100% that we are. And if it's several different things that we're doing, guess what? Our cup ain't running over. It's empty. It's like an empty jug. And so this is really good. So what do you suggest to people who are in this space where they're not finding that time? I'm going to give you my scenario.
Sure.
I work literally sometimes until 2 and 3 in the morning. Okay. And that is because I do have a corporate job, but then I also have the business, and we're planning our launch. So the launch is a week and a half away. Right. And so in that space, I haven't had time to go to the gym like I want to, and I'm feeling it. I have not done all of the things that I need to do for Paulette as a business owner. Now, what would you say to someone like myself who needs to take that time to do the things that you're doing? Get up in the morning, have that quiet time, all of that. I try my best not to wake up the whole house. So is that something that you focus on? Is it just like, I'm going to take 10 minutes here to take care of myself, or am I going to do X, Y, Z? What do you do?
Yeah, that's an excellent point. So y'all probably figured out I'm a woman of a certain age, but promise me you won't tell anybody. A few years ago, I made an investment in myself to join a mastermind that was related to productivity and organization.
Love it.
Because I don't have, now I believe I'm going to live to be more than 100. My great grandmother lived to be 102.
Okay.
But I don't know if the quality of my life at 80, 85, 90, 100 is going to be what it is today. So my time is my most valuable resource.
Yes.
And I am in every scenario in my life. I got to be present for me.
Yep.
I got to be present if you have a job in corporate, for your family, your significant other, your children, your grandchildren, in the places where you serve, for your clients, right? In all aspects of your business. And so this is what I learned that, listen close, you have to hire help.
Did y'all hear that? Hello. That was awesome.
This is for the people in the balcony.
Yes.
Right.
Did y'all hear that?
Right?
Yeah.
That this journey is not for everybody, but because, and you mentioned it, we as women, we tend to take care of other people before we take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
Right. And so what I learned is that this is why I don't live an Instagram life. Right. I don't. And I will tell you, the first time that I hired help, just to, take care of some of the basic cleaning stuff around the house that I couldn't get to, I didn't tell anybody in my family or like anybody. In fact, I'll be honest with you. I was embarrassed that I couldn't do all the things, literally. And I also didn't want people to look at me like a certain way. Like, who does she think she is? She got a housekeeper, right? Or whatever it is. I've had a meal service before. I've talked about this within my community about all of the help that I have to make things happen as well. And so I believe in using those resources and tools, but also you've got to literally list out all the things you do. And I learned this in the productivity organization mastermind that I was part of for 3 years, is that, and then figure out, what can I stop doing? What can I stop doing?
Yeah.
What can I delegate? What can I hire out? And delegate means, okay, so I'm gonna say this. So this is the truth. So this is my second marriage, but not for the reason you think. My first husband lost his life to cancer, and I got remarried. But in both marriages, I don't do all those things. My mom said this to me: 2 things. Getting married is going to be the hardest thing you ever do. 2, this is like balancing things. The second thing she said was, don't start none, won't be none. So if you don't start washing his clothes, all that, you like, I'm not the maid.
Right.
So my first husband and my husband now, Cliff, who I love with my whole heart, we're in business together. I don't wash his clothes.
Look at you.
The brother came with his own set of, like, he know how to do stuff.
Right.
So either we're going to have some help do it, or he going to wash his own clothes, because I don't do that.
Got it.
Right.
And I'm loving the fact that you're talking about the one thing, because see, like I said, whenever I'm talking about business, we don't want to talk about this side over here. So I really appreciate you sharing and being honest and candid about the experiences that you and your husband have with the running of the business. And this is so, I think, unorthodox for us to be talking about this, because we don't hear the truth that happens behind the scenes. I'm gonna go here and then I'm gonna circle back. So I think about the beautiful artwork for the business. I think about the ads that I see, the sponsored ads on Facebook and Instagram, TikTok, all over the place, Bigo, all of these different places, banners all over the place, and everything looks exciting and happy and all of that stuff. And we're thinking that they got everything together. And ultimately what you're saying is that can happen if you are open and honest with the fact that you only have 2 hands, and that you will have to outsource some of the things, even when it comes to your home, so that you stay on task. Is that what I'm hearing?
Absolutely.
We got to do that. Okay.
Absolutely. And, and let me say this, there are ways that you can trade services. Like, so if you don't feel like, so I'll give you an example. I worked with a client several years ago, and she was a single mom, and like what was she going to do? It was just her. And so we walked through, what do you have? I believe in using what's in your hands. Right. And so she partnered with another single mom and another couple and created some space for her to be able to do some of the things that she needed to do by offering help. So she did the same thing that someone else needed. She picked their kids, their son or daughter up, and they were in swim school together. Okay. And on a Saturday, one Saturday a month, she would take all the kids there, and then, have a meal, and then keep the kids for a few hours. Okay. And what it gave her was 2 other Saturdays that she didn't have her daughter, because it was 3 families that did this. Nice. So now, guess what? She freed up some of her time, but she didn't have to pay, because maybe she was, in her case, she was stretched. Now, yes, you have to have trusted, relationships. You probably kind of guessed, you guys did. I'm a church girl, right? In fact, some people might use some other words on Sunday when they call me Reverend on Sunday. Okay. What I will say is that you gotta trust, right? And lean into some of those resources. and do what works.
Mm-hmm.
Try it and see. If it doesn't work, then that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
As well. And I've also know another client of mine that recently started a business, and in during COVID, she and her brother co-located together,
Okay.
so they could offer each other support in a similar way. So, what is it that you are willing to do? What can you do? And again, I'm going to go back to the sacrifice I made when I went to seminary. I gave up television because I had a goal that I wanted to accomplish. So you have to ask yourself, this is real. Like this not Instagram stuff. What are you willing to give up for your dream?
Right.
Is it big enough? Right? So either you're gonna have one or two things. Either you're gonna have fear, uncertainty, and doubt because you never did it, right? Or you're gonna have regrets, right? Right? At the
You're
end,
right.
but what is it worth it to you, right? And not just to you, but let me say this. You see, when you plan what something that's a divine download for those that believe that. See, it's not just about you, because you are literally the answer to someone's prayer.
Come on.
You're preventing someone from reaching their purpose in God's plan for their life because you won't answer yours.
That's good. That's good. But let's put this on the table. So I hear what you're saying, and you're absolutely correct. When we don't move in the calling that is on our lives, someone else is impacted because of our lack of moving forward with what we're supposed to be doing. And so there are so many of us who come into business, who come into who are coming into ourselves. And I think we never stop doing that. But we're talking about a people, especially the Blacks, the sisters that I know, have so many things that we were dealing with, right? So growing up in a poor situation, whatever that was, the self-doubt, the stinking thinking, having the pity parties, those kinds of things, even though we know we heard it, and that self-doubt, would you say that if okay, so here's how I am. If I know that I can't get to it by myself in terms of me removing the stinking thinking from myself, would you say that connecting with other people has been a godsend for you? Has it helped you to kind of stay on task? Because we should be reaching where our goals are so we can impact the people we're supposed to. It's all by divine design. But when we are stuck and we can't get out, would you say stay in your resolve right here? Or would you say, girl, it's time to reach out? Brother, it's time for you to get some additional support. Reach out to the resources that are around you.
Absolutely. What I would say is that if it hadn't been for the people who just came into my life, I would say that I have been tremendously blessed and favored by some of the rooms I've been in, some of the contacts I've had, and people have just like poured into me like for no reason, but other than like God sent them. Yeah. And opened up doors for me that I didn't even know were there and that I could walk into.
Come on.
Right. So what I will say is that, trust your gut, trust your feeling, your discernment will guide you, and you will know at the end of the day, like what is right for you and what is not right for you. But at the end of the day, I didn't say this. I think Brene Brown, I recall, said it more recently. Some things you just got to do scared. Come on. Right? I mean, at the end of the day, the sign on my wall says this simply: faith over fear. It's not accident that it's there. It's because I believe that we have to allow our faith, our belief, our hope, our dream, right? The end game, my grandchildren's grandchildren, to drive the faith over the fear. I love that. And I recently heard actually someone else, say this, because I'm a learner. I'm just like a learner. And I feel like I can learn from when I worked in corporate, the woman who came and emptied my trash can out and vacuumed my office. And I remember people always remarking, well, why is it that your trash always gets taken out in your vacuum? I said, you know why? Because if I'm here early or late and I see that person, they're a person. I stop and speak and ask questions and inquire. My husband has always had a garden and find out what they like, right? And share my life and my experience and all of that and leave stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Leave a $5 Starbucks card or a McDonald's card or whatever it is, or Amazon thing. Like nothing, just to say thank you. I appreciate, and I know this, imagine if people stop picking, I'm just gonna say it. If people stop picking the trash up, what would we do?
Oh, it would just pile up and we would just walk right through it.
We wouldn't be able to live in this world.
No, we wouldn't.
So, I just appreciate like those small things as well too. And I think, that's where it comes from. It comes from a place of service.
Yeah.
The first thing I know, and I appreciate you reading my bio, but this is what I want. That's a whole lot of stuff on that list.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, God drove it all. Right? God drove it all. And in the heart of who Lisa is, I am just a servant looking to transform people's lives from where they are to where God has called you to be. That's who I really am.
I love that. So listen, let's talk about your business, because I heard you say that you're here to serve. How do you serve your clients?
So I serve my clients from an HR for profit standpoint. Is we show faith-based and Christian CEOs how to profit from hiring. And so literally, I know that feels like an oxymoron, but I'm going to give a couple things just to really share. So the first thing is you got to make everybody a salesperson, right? And so you got to hire the right people. You have got to make sure, just like the example I gave, is that you know what motivates people, right? And those are the things that are going to help. And then make sure that they understand clearly how your organization makes and loses money. Because oftentimes I've been slowed down where people ask, well, like if you have someone on your team, maybe they're doing graphics, maybe they're answering the phone or following up with clients, maybe they're doing some virtual other type work or whatever it might be. Have you really explained your brand and how you make money, how you lose money, and have you really taken the time to understand what motivates them and what they want out of life? Because everything isn't just about you. It's just about you. So imagine if you have one employee or team member or two or five, and all of them understand that, right? So everywhere they go, they're a brand ambassador for your organization. And then when they do something, they can say, I do that on my job. Like we do that every day. And we just had a success story because you're sharing like literally the good, like we're talking about today, the bad and the ugly. And from that standpoint, and incentivize them, right? So some simple things that we do on the HR for profit side. The other side of it, we, working with my husband has been a joy, but it's not, it hasn't been easy either. We have to work at it.
Right.
We really got some good news yesterday on the other side of it. We have a client that worked with us a few months ago, and she landed a position, a high-level position at an organization. It happens to be in Atlanta. I mean, like the highest level position in technology. And what I will tell you is, it's not a secret. It's a formula. It's a system at the end of the day. And we're talking about somebody to get everything that you want in an opportunity. So I tell people this. So yes, I'm the CEO. I co-founded this business with my husband, but it is a job too. That's not a bad thing, but I love my job. Like
You love your job.
I love it. I absolutely love. I can't see myself doing anything else.
Wow.
I just couldn't. But let
Okay.
me say this too. So
Okay.
for those of you who feel like, okay, you have a job, you're also an entrepreneur, you're trying to, resign your job so you can do your entrepreneurship full time. Get your stuff in order, get your finances in order, get your reserves in order, pay down your debt, eliminate overhead, from a personal standpoint so that you can make it work. But also know this, there are more paths to success.
Yeah.
And they don't all look the same. They
That's
don't all
right.
look the same. And you're as much of an entrepreneur and as much of a success. Keep your full-time job. Don't give up on your daydream, though. I'm telling you, that daydream.
That's right.
Keep pursuing it. And I have this on my desk.
Okay.
On my desk, I'm going to show it. And I don't know if you could see it.
Never, never, never give up.
I have had that on my desk since I had an office. Right?
Really?
And the secret, like the real secret to success and whatever you want to do is never, never, never give up.
Never. I love it. I love it. Oh my goodness. Listen, we can sit here and talk all day long because see, honey, you Sherms, SP, Lean Six Sigma Green Belt, and all of that fun stuff, honey. I'm sure that if you really wanted to get back into the corporate world, you would not have a problem. But I hear what you're saying, and I hear the passion in your voice for wanting to serve the people, and I absolutely love that. You know what? This is extraordinary. I talk to a lot of businesses. Especially since we've started this series. And first, I can't say it enough. First of all, thank you again for coming out and chatting with us today about the good, the bad, the ugly, and the truth. This is very unorthodox because we always hear the successes and my jet and you don't need this and blah 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 and I came out and I made 7 figures in my first 8 days. Quit lying. I'm not saying that it's not possible. But I really, really appreciate the fact that you are telling the truth and telling it like it is. You getting up early enough in the morning so that you can have that me time to yourself, walking your dog, brushing your teeth, having that time to go through the miracle morning, which I'm definitely going to have to check out now, right? Because I'm always looking to, and then I'm hearing you say this, and I struggle to get up in the morning, and I'm like, okay, well, that's no longer an excuse, Paulette. So you don't know what you've done for me in this moment while we're spending time together. Just chatting and chopping it up about business and about faith, because at the end of the day, faith over fear. I think a lot of the reasons why a lot of people have not decided to look at entrepreneurialism, even if they do have a full-time job. And I appreciate you for even saying that, because we look at it as, oh, that's just my side hustle. No. That is your business. And stop calling it your side hustle. It is your business. And people are not understanding how phenomenal they are working full-time in corporate and also having a full-time business as an entrepreneur. It is not for the faint at heart. You got to have huge faith in order to make this work. And so I did drop your banner, your Linktree banner. I wanted to make sure that people understood where to find you. So guys, you're going to head over to Linktree and you're going to search for HR for Profit. HR for Profit. You guys want to find out more about what Mrs. Lisa Ealy does? You definitely want to go there and check her out. First of all, I don't know if you have a pink squirrel or something laying around, but that's all I keep seeing in my head now, right? Like the unicorn. I think that's an adorable concept. And just keeping it real with your clients and with yourself in your journey towards entrepreneurialism, and you're not new to it. And so I appreciate the honesty from that perspective, the clarity, because again, I don't have anything against social media, but let me see one more person get out of a rented Maybach selling that dream to people so they can fill a conference room full of folks who are going to get sold a $19.97 a month product that they can't even use because the speaker and the organizers are not really versed in what they do. But you got some skin in this game. You know what you're doing. And I appreciate the candor and the honesty that you're bringing. So do you have anything that's coming up that we need to know about? where else can we find you? Where you speaking? How can we get your book? What are all the things?
Yeah. So if you go there, just connect with me. My book is on Amazon. The book that I self-published
Okay.
is entitled Real Girlfriends Pray.
Huh.
It is a devotional. It is meant to be used multiple different ways.
Okay.
One of the books that I co-authored, which is a bestseller, is also available there as well.
Mm-hmm.
What I have coming up, and the best way to get in contact with me is to attend our Profitable Hiring Secrets Masterclass. The next one is coming up in actually in a few days, but we do it, ongoing, because
Okay.
I'm not new to this. I'm true to this.
Okay. Okay.
I am committed 100,000%
Okay.
making sure that businesses can profit from hiring and from HR, because
Okay.
it is possible. And when I say that, like, I'm not talking about, like you said, like the fake thing. I'm talking about whatever your profit path is realistically,
Yeah.
right? From that standpoint. And I'm not trying to tell you that everything is going to be easy. But I am giving you a path, a tool, a process, systems, and support from an expert
Right.
that can help you alleviate some of your frustrations, that will help you, create your roadmap.
Right. Right.
That works for you.
Right.
To create a team, right? It could be a fractional team. It could be hired from Fiverr or Upwork, a 1099, or at some point, you can even hire non-benefited employees or benefit employees. So there's multiple. Let me say this. I shared this earlier with you. There's multiple ways to get to Hawaii. And I'm going to show you your best path.
Your best.
Your best path. So
Right.
from that standpoint. And that's my story. And I'm sticking with it.
Okay. And I appreciate that. Listen, guys, everybody, I need you to, first of all, give yourselves a round of applause for hanging out with us today with Lisa Ealy. She is one of the partners. She and her husband together have a beautiful business where they help so many people through their HR journey. And it is called Purple Squirrel Group's HR for Profit, the leading HR consulting and talent firm for faith-based organizations. And also, guys, don't forget, she's a best-selling author, y'all. She didn't want to say nothing about that, but listen, I got it up here in big bold print. Real Girlfriends Pray is available on Amazon. Go ahead and get your copy. And listen, I'm going to put her link tree down here again for you guys. Link tree at HR for Profit, HR for Profit. Go ahead and check her out. There's tons of things that you can do, and she's got that masterclass coming up. I don't want you to miss that. Go ahead and grab that information. And lastly, Ms. Lisa, if there's anything else that you want to share with our audience, I would greatly appreciate it.
So I'm going to tell you this. One of the things that I live by is these three things. First, you got to dream what you're going to dream. Like, what is your dream?
Yeah.
Then I want you to decide that you're going to do it. Do not allow anything to get you off your path.
Yeah.
Or allow you to undecide. And then do it. Take action. Dream, decide, do.
Dream, decide, and do. The 3 Ds. 3 Ds. I love that. Miss Ealy, this has been amazing. Thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with us today. This was wonderful. I am wishing you much success, and the staying power that you have is inspirational, especially for someone like myself and for other people. I want to make sure that your story is heard. And so we're going to continue to air this sucker until they get tired of hearing it, and then we're going to play it again. How about that? You guys.
All right. Amen.
Yes, absolutely. We're going to continue with that. Listen, you guys, it's your girl, Paulette. I am, once again, the owner and founder of BrownstoneWorldwide.com. Also, KCCR Radio, the Brownstone Center, and also the host of the Sunday Brunch and the Day Shift on KCCR Radio, the Brownstone. Listen, you will be able to hear this broadcast, watch this broadcast on YouTube, Facebook, all of the places, so that we can get more information about HR for Profit from Lisa Ealy. You guys, Join us for another episode of Brownstone's Best Business Review and Interviews with me, your girl Paulette, on Brownstone Worldwide. Thanks again for joining us. We'll see you on another episode. Have a great day.